In this video, I'm going to show you how to create and manage invoices. There are various ways to create invoices within the software. Firstly, from the front dashboard, you'll see at the top of the screen, you have the option to create invoice. If you click on here, you'll be able to generate an invoice directly from this dashboard. Alternatively, we can go to the Invoices module on the left-hand side of the screen. And once you're in the invoicing module, you'll see an option at the top of the page to create a new invoice. If we go to the customer module on the left hand side, the other way to do this is click into a customer record, and at the top of the screen you'll have the option to create an invoice. If I just hit create invoice, this will take us through to the invoicing screen. We can see here that it's gone to invoice number 2 because this is the second invoice I've ever created. If you're a new startup business, it will default to number 1, but if you're moving across from another system, if I just change this to a different invoice number, then the next invoice number will automatically go sequential from there. We can see because I created the invoice from the customer module, it has brought through that customer for me, and it's brought through their address details as well. I can just open up that drop down list and we can see a full list of our customers, and I can select a different one if I wanted to. If this was a new customer, I could just hit the plus sign and just quickly create a new customer record from here. We've got the option to put in a reference as well. At the top of the screen we can see the issue date and the due date, so that's brought through from the payment terms that you've set up against the customer record. I believe mine defaults to 28 days and you can see that's come through on here. You can change the date if needed. We can choose our default currency as well from this screen, and all we then need to do is just add some line items to the invoice. So I've got general work in here and I've also got some services that I provide. So I'm just going to say this is a bathroom fitting, and you can see you can set up the sales codes within the system to pre-fill this information. If you do a lot of similar pricing work, it just means you haven't got to type over everything all the time. If a lot of your work is bespoke, you can just go and type in anything you want in here. And again, you can just free type whatever you want in here, and then you can just overwrite the amount to whatever you wish. Again, if you're typing in the net rate, it will calculate the VAT and will calculate the gross for you. Alternatively, you can just type in the gross amount and it will calculate the VAT and automatically calculate the net value on there for you. You can also add in comment lines, so you can just add in a comment and you can just free type anything you want in here, and you can move these around depending on how you want them to be seen on the client's invoice itself. Once you've done that, all you need to do is hit save once you're happy with the information on the invoice, and that is now saved, and we can see the status of that invoice is unpaid. If we now go through to the invoices screen on the left hand side, we can now see that invoice number 2 with the reference number we put in, the date, the due date, how much, and the status of that is unpaid. We'll also be able to see that from the customer record. So if we click into the customer record and go to BTs, go to invoices and stats, and we can now see that invoice number 2 is listed in here. I can drill into the invoice directly from the customer screen as well, so that's just going to open up our invoice again. Various options on here. You will see we have the option to edit. So if I want to make any changes to that invoice, I can just hit the edit button and then we can go and change that. So we're just going to change that to 2 days worth of work. So again, I can just free type anything into here and we can see the value has changed, and then hit save at the top of the screen, and that's now been saved in the system. We've got the option to copy. So again, if you've got repeat invoices that you do for a lot of clients and it's very, very similar, you can just hit the copy button and then we can copy that to a new invoice. And then we can see I can go in and change the reference in there. So I'm just going to change that to 3. It's brought in invoice number 3, and I'm just going to change the customer who that's for, and then hit save. And now it's copied all of that information and it's created a new invoice for me. If we scroll down, we've got the option to print. So I can just print that invoice out as a PDF, or we can email it. If we open up the email editor, it will see it brings through their email address and it just attaches that invoice as a simple PDF document. We've also got the option at the bottom to add in a payment. So if we want to record a payment against the invoice, just click add payment. We can choose the payment date, the payment amount, which can be overwritten if it was a part payment or customer deposit, which bank account the payment went into, and how the client paid us. And then we can type a note and we can record any payments against invoices using this method. If you've added payments, you do have the option to do refunds. So we've got a refund button where we can refund, create credit notes, or write off as bad debt when needed. And also we do have the option to take card payments within the software as well. So if you've set this system up, then if I click on card payment, I can just type in the debit or credit card details for this client, whether it be over the phone or if they're in front of me, and then just take a payment, and that will go and authorize a debit or credit card payment against the invoice itself. If we go to the invoices screen on the left hand side now, we can see those two invoices we've created and one we created earlier, and the status of those is all unpaid. If we clicked into an invoice quickly and just scroll down to add a payment, I'm just going to add this payment in. I'm just going to save that. We'll now see that that payment has been recorded at the bottom, so you can see the payment date, the amount, which bank account it went into, and how it was paid. So now if you go through to the invoices screen now, we will see that that invoice is now paid. You can choose how you want to see this screen. So if I just go to the bottom, we're actually seeing all of our invoices. I can say just show me what's unpaid, and it's going to take away that paid invoice and just show everything that's due. And again, if we just go and change that to paid, it's going to show me all of the invoices that have been paid. So that's how easy it is just to quickly create and manage invoices using the software.